Good morning and welcome to a thought for the day for Thursday morning. I may have told you this story before. In fact, I've almost certain that some of you I've told this story to before, so forgive me if I have repeated myself, but it's a story I've been reflecting on today, and particularly based on a prayer that I've read today, which I'll read to you at the end. There was once a man who went out into the woods, and whilst he was there, he found an injured fox. The fox had badly hurt its leg, it couldn't move, and the man felt really sad because he knew that without being able to move, the fox wasn't going to be able to hunt, and that the fox would probably not last the night. So the man comes back a couple of days later, and the fox is still there. And so he wonders, well, how could this fox have possibly managed to survive this time without being able to hunt? So he decides to wait and see what's going to happen. And after a while of waiting, what happens is that this bear comes out of the woods. And the man stands still and watches as the bear has a freshly caught kind of kill in its mouth. And it comes and it leaves some for the fox. Now, the man comes back the next day and the same thing happens. And he comes back the next day and the same thing happens. And he marvels at the wonder of God's creation. And he says, Lord, I'm moved by how much you love this fox. I know that you love me even more than you love this fox. So I want to see how you'll provide for me. So the man decides to sit and wait in the forest until God provides in the same way. So the man waits and waits and nothing happens. And one night passes and the next day nothing happens. And yet another night passes and yet nothing happens. And the man by this time is hungry. He's a little bit angry. And after another night of still nothing happening, the man, bemused, disgruntled, with God, stands up and leaves and says, I can't believe, Lord, that you love this fox more than you love me, and that you wouldn't provide for me like you have for this fox. And he goes back into town, and he sees, as he goes back into town, a young girl stood begging, homeless, hungry, on the street. And he rages against the heavens and he says, Lord, how can you allow such evil and suffering to take place in your world? Why don't you just do something? And God replies, I have done something. I have created you. But you chose to act like the fox when you could have acted like the bear. Something to reflect on today, and a prayer that draws upon that thought from the Celtic tradition. Remember the poor when you look out on your fields that you own, on your plump cows grazing. Remember the poor when you look into your barn at the abundance of your harvest. Remember the poor when the wind howls and the rain falls as you sit warm and dry in your home. Remember the poor when you eat fine meat and drink fine ale at your fine carved table. The cows have grass to eat, the rabbits have burrows for shelter, the birds have warm nests. But the poor have no food except what you feed them, no shelter except your house when you welcome them, no warmth except your glowing fire. May we be conscious of the needs of others, and out of what the Lord has given us, perhaps we too can be like the bear. God bless you, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.